What do you get when fame, queerness, and controversy collide? In 2025, some of the most dazzling LGBTQ+ stars didn't just walk red carpets, they survived storms. From whirlwind romances and messy breakups to jaw-dropping performances and headline-making choices, these celebs turned every high and low into a viral moment. And let's be honest, we live for it. Whether you're here for the scandal, the style, or the emotional whiplash, these 5 queer icons gave us everything this year and left fans debating, defending, and double-tapping along the way. Oh, and before we start, where are you watching from? Drop your city or country in the comments, and let's see just how global this chaotic queer energy really is. Ready to relive the drama? Let's count down the top 5 queer celebs whose 2025 was a total roller coaster. And trust us, number 3 might just break the internet. Let's go. Chris Appleton, the glam king who faced his 2025 scandal in style. If you're into the kind of drama that's equal parts heartbreak and champagne, there's no better story than Chris Appleton's 2025. The celebrity hairstylist turned groom had everyone spinning, not with a dramatic red carpet reveal, but because he lived his chaos in public and made it look untouched. Chris was already a household name in the beauty world. His fingers sculpted Kim Kardashian's sleek looks and J.Lo's glossy glam. That was him. But this year, he stepped into a bigger spotlight. In early 2025, the internet collectively gasped. Chris had quietly divorced and then re-hitched with actor Lucas Gage. Just like in a rom-com, they were engaged, married, and separated again in a matter of weeks. Swipe right meets Fast and Furious, and everyone was living for the emotional full throttle. But while tabloids tried to wave banners and fan accounts spilled receipts, Chris stayed composed. There were no public statements, no Clint Eastwood stares in magazines. He and Lucas walked the line between divorce and drama, like fashion models sliding between red velvet curtains, subtle, beautiful, and kind of chilling. Yet, despite the storm, Chris's branding didn't flinch. If anything, he leaned in. His Instagram feed, equal parts high-fashion editorial and sunshine-soaked gym selfie, began trending on TikTok. His survivor glow became the cultural moment of the year. People didn't just stan him, they admired his grace. The curated quiet that followed scandal turned into an aura of unshakable confidence. Beyond the romance scandal, Chris delivered on his career too. He took gloss-heavy glam to LA Pride parades, slayed intricate updos on queer celebrities, and collaborated with beauty brands that finally leaned fully into LGBTQ+ visibility. He hosted panels on self-expression, released photo collections of clothed and nude portraits, and even attended drag benefit galas, looking dipped in couture and dripping in queerness. Let's be real, his rise from scandal wasn't just about surviving emotional chaos. It was about rebuilding, reinventing, and emerging more iconic than ever. In a year full of fast camera romance and instant regrets, Chris Appleton danced to a slower beat, measured, fierce, unapologetic. Ignoring the drama wasn't possible, but he transformed it into power, into aesthetics, into that quiet, I'm still me flex that only the most confident can pull off. And that's the real stunner. So, who comes out of a 2025 scandal of their own doing and becomes even more influential in LGBTQ+ beauty? That's the kind of metamorphosis that invites both judgment and jubilation. And Chris Appleton pulled it off in major cinematic style. Drop 1 if Chris turned scandal into a style statement. Ready to see who rides the roller coaster next? Omar Aayuso, Spain's queer icon who faced his demons in 2025. If you thought Omar Aayuso's story ended when Elite wrapped its final season, think again. 2025 was anything but quiet for Spain's breakout heartthrob. And while the headlines may have dimmed, Omar's personal journey hit new depths and heights. You probably first saw him as Omar Shana, the queer Muslim student navigating love, religion, and rebellion in Netflix's Elite. It was a role that flipped the script for gay characters in international TV, and it put Omar's intense stare and raw acting right into the global spotlight. But being that visible, that fast, takes a toll. And this year, Omar finally opened up about just how dark things got behind the scenes. In an emotional interview earlier this year, Omar revealed he hit rock bottom shortly after the fame wave. The pressure to live up to fan expectations, to stay politically correct, and to perform a version of himself for the internet all became too much. "I completely lost myself," he admitted. "I didn't know who I was without the camera." But that's where 2025 took a turn. Instead of disappearing, Omar chose to come back stronger. This year, he joined the cast of Mariliandra, a new Spanish film exploring generational queerness. It's not another teen series or shirtless photo shoot. It's a role that lets him dig deeper, challenge norms, and redefine what queer masculinity can look like on screen. And that's exactly what Omar wants to be doing. He's also set to debut in a theater production with actress Toni Acosta, proving that he's not afraid to trade the flashing cameras for raw stage lights. It's a bold move, but very Omar. He's always been more about substance than spectacle, even if the world insists on seeing him as an icon first and an artist second. And while his Instagram still serves us thirst traps, his captions have taken on a new tone, less curated, more real. You can tell he's no longer playing a part for the algorithm. Instead, he's slowly reclaiming his narrative, one post, one role, one brave quote at a time. In a media culture obsessed with overexposure, Omar Aayuso is mastering the rare art of quiet reinvention. He's reminding fans that being queer, brown, and vulnerable on a global stage isn't just visibility, it's resistance. So while others chase TikTok fame and fast clout, Omar's taking his time, choosing his moments, and staying absolutely true to himself. That's why he's not just trending, he's enduring. Drop 2 if you believe Omar's glow-up is more than just physical. It's personal, powerful, and totally deserved. Manu Rios, from elite teen idol to queer trailblazer. When Elite first slayed our screens, fans couldn't stop swooning over Manu Rios. He was effortlessly beautiful, aloof, and styled like a walking pre-Raphaelite dream. But 2025 was more than just looks for him. It was the year Manu moved from dreamy background to full-on queer icon, and along the way, caused a captivating storm. After his breakout role in Elite, Manu filled fan pages worldwide with edits, artsy photo shoots, and avant-garde fashion. But for much of his career, his identity felt slightly veiled. Many assumed he was queer-coded without much public confirmation. That ambiguity fueled fan obsession and a lot of pressure. So when Manu finally broke his silence, it wasn't blurred or coy. It was transformative. He shared that while queer identity was never a secret to his community, sharing it publicly felt daunting. In 2025, amidst rising pressure and internet rumor mills, he posted a simple caption: "I am queer, always have been, happy to finally say it." It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't performative. It was just him, brave, authentic, burnished in light. That moment set off waves. Headlines declared it a landmark for Gen Z representation in Spain. But for Manu, it was just the beginning. From that point on, he leaned fully into his newfound voice. He walked runways in gender-fluid couture, kissed male dancers during halftime shows, and spoke candidly in interviews about body dysmorphia, identity, and queer heartbreak. When asked why the timing, he didn't shy away. He said, Because silence, though safe, isn't me anymore. His fans, long-standing and newly ally, celebrated the reveal. But, as is often the case, controversy followed. Some criticized him for going public in a spotlight that still holds immense pressure. Others questioned his coming out as too Instagram-friendly, too staged. Manu responded with grace, saying, "I love that people want more, but I'm done performing authenticity. This is it." The humility and defiance in that statement only drew people deeper in. Then came the creative explosion. He released an art house music video, sensual, moody, impossible to ignore. He starred in a short film about queerness and immigration, gaining critical acclaim. He collaborated with queer artists across Europe. He wasn't just a face anymore. He was an artist, refusing to let his identity be background decor. By the end of 2025, Manu Rios wasn't just an actor fans crushed on. He was the moment, a reminder that queer youth can exist publicly, boldly, and without apology. His journey from simmering speculation to a loud declaration felt deeply personal, yet wildly revolutionary. Drop 3 if Manu's journey from soft-coded idol to queer legend inspired you. Luke Evans, the Hollywood rebel who played it his way. Luke Evans has always carried himself with the confidence of someone who knows his place, on screen, in control, and unbothered. But 2025 reminded us that this Welsh heartthrob isn't just an actor with a jawline carved by the gods, he's a complex, openly gay man who's quietly shifted the industry without ever begging for applause. Raised in a conservative household in Wales, Luke didn't come from the red carpet world. He fought his way into it. Before fame, there was struggle, facing judgment, rejection, and the pressure to mask parts of himself to succeed. But he didn't hide forever. By the time he arrived in Hollywood, he was already a storm in motion. What made 2025 different was the way he began to peel back the layers. It wasn't loud or attention-seeking, it was honest, personal. That year, he shared more openly about his upbringing, his mental battles, and the long path it took to feel pride in his truth. People expected glitz and drama. Instead, Luke gave them raw humanity, and fans couldn't get enough. While other actors tried to ride waves of clickbait, Luke was busy grounding himself in real work. He starred in 2 major films in 2025, each one reminding us of his range, from gritty action to tender, emotional roles that brought critics to tears. And behind the scenes, he was mentoring younger queer actors, pushing for more inclusive casting, and staying clear of the gossip traps that trip up so many. But don't let the calm fool you. Luke Evans had his messy moments too. He ended a long-term relationship, sparking tabloids to spiral with rumors about his dating life. There were photos, close friends, and even one heated social media post that fans dissected like a map to his heart. But Luke, he didn't take the bait. Instead of addressing every whisper, he let the world talk while he walked into premieres like a man unbothered by noise. That's the Evans effect. Total composure with just enough mystery to keep the world guessing. He's never been one to let his queerness define his career, but he's also never hidden it to get ahead. In 2025, that balance felt like a power move. He wasn't fighting for a seat at the table anymore. He was building his own and inviting the next generation to sit beside him. He proved that visibility doesn't always have to scream to be heard. Sometimes it whispers through every role, every red carpet step, every moment you choose to live authentically, even when it's easier not to. Luke Evans made it through 2025 without a scandal, but with a story that resonated even louder. And for queer people watching from the sidelines, seeing someone succeed without compromise is its own kind of revolution. Drop 4 if you think Luke's the kind of man who turns quiet confidence into queer power. Jeremy Pope, from studio snub to healing hero. Imagine being told you're not believable because you're gay. That's exactly what Jeremy Pope faced early in 2025 when a studio director questioned his ability to connect with female co-stars simply due to his sexuality. Rather than shrinking, he walked away. And in doing so, he sparked a transformation that would define the rest of his year. Jeremy has always spoken with his soul, not his ego. He first captivated audiences on Pose and Broadway, earning Tony and Emmy nods before most people knew how to pronounce his name. But 2025 was different. It wasn't about glow or glamour. It was about confronting rejection and rising anyway. When he dropped the studio film, many would have seen it as career sabotage. But Jeremy redefined it. Not long after, A24 offered him the lead in The Inspection, a searing indie film about a gay black man joining the Marines during Don't Ask, Don't Tell. The role, both emotional and punishing, became his rebirth. Wearing his scars on screen, he played a man pushed to his limit, only to discover self-love in the ashes. Audiences didn't only see a performance, they felt a healing story. Critics nodded. Award shows listened. That year, Jeremy earned a Golden Globe nomination, not just for acting, but for authenticity itself. But the glow-up didn't stop there. Off-screen, he started letting more of himself show. He shared raw stories about growing up queer and black in strict environments, where masculinity was often performed, not felt. He credited his roles as personal redemption arcs, ways to reclaim voice and identity the industry had once tried to quiet. Yet with visibility came vulnerability. Fans overanalyzed every red carpet pose, tireless edits popped up, and whispers followed him like shadows. Some labeled him too queer, others questioned if he'd grown up too quickly. But Jeremy leaned into it, offering grace instead of defense. He used interviews not to prove his worth, but to share the journey to finding it. That year, he also took risks. He performed new music, embraced social justice causes, and produced queer-centered works that made his voice ring louder. He didn't chase clout, he chased truth. In every choice, he echoed the same message: art first, box second. So why is 2025 Jeremy Pope's rollercoaster year? He faced career roadblocks. He dared to use pain as fuel. He turned rejection into roles that healed millions. And through it all, he owned his queerness, not as an accessory, but as power. Jeremy didn't just bounce back, he soared on his own terms. Drop 5 if you believe Jeremy's wounded and winning comeback deserves every headline. And there you have it. 5 queer stars who didn't just make headlines in 2025, they owned them. Whether they were breaking hearts, breaking barriers, or just breaking the internet, these celebs reminded us that queerness isn't a limitation. It's a power move. From emotional red carpet moments to jaw-dropping career pivots, their journeys prove one thing: being bold, visible, and messy is sometimes exactly what the world needs. Which name shocked you the most? Which comeback inspired you? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to tell us where you're watching from. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Or don't. But then you might miss out on the next scandal, the next glow-up, or the next star who's about to break the algorithm. Your call. Until next time, stay loud, stay proud, and stay watching.